My day is winding down, fam. My day is winding down. I had an interesting day, of course. I'm good. I'm going to have an interesting day tomorrow. God willing, I'll get past all that. So basically, fam, I'd like to leave y'all. This is going to be a very short one because I don't get much over here anyway. But the last time I think I spoke to you guys, I was talking about bullying, knowing how to deal with bullies. There's many ways that we can deal with bullies. It depends on the level that the bully is attacking. It's about the best way you can look at it, because that's what bullies do. They just attack people for no reasons. They don't have no good reason, no solid reasons. They just do it because they feel that they can and they can get away with it, and it brings a joy to their heart to bully people. So I'm always wanting to talk about that because I am a victim of bullying when I was young. And I learned to deal with bullies. The most important thing was to stand up to them. Stand up to the bullies. And it's the most scariest feeling. And you may not always come out as the victor when you do that. But you will gain respect. If you survive it, you will gain much respect. I'm not going to waste too much time on this because so, fam, remember, stand your ground at all times. Well, especially when you know that you're standing your ground for the right reasons. That is very vital, very important. Never allow a bully to back you down, even though it seems scary to stand up to them. But all my life, I had to deal with that. And what I have learned in the process of dealing with that is that I had to face the fears that whole idea of this big bully was going to do to me. And yeah, it wasn't a pleasant feeling having to stand up to them, whoever they may be. But overall, I got the respect. And when you gain respect from a bully, you get peace. But if you continue to cower and run, that gives the bully more, they get cockier. They get more aggressive. They don't just leave you alone. For some reason, they want to just do you so much harm because they see that you're afraid of them. And you have to, they don't respect somebody who runs from them. You know, it's just like running from an animal. When you turn your back and run, the animal, now it depends on the type of animal. You're talking about a lion, regardless, you stand straight up to a lion, he's still gonna try to eat you up. But you're talking about like a dog or something. Most dogs, when you stand to them, front them, they'll just stand there and bark at you a lot. You got to take your chances with that, you know. I stopped running from dogs once I realized that I become more of a prey when I turn and run. than stand and face them. And I may have to have something in my hand to deal with a dog. I don't know. But if I can grab them in that cushy area around the neck, then you can literally kind of control that dog. And he can't harm you, because once you grab that meaty hair and flesh around his neck, they really can't. They're gonna thrash a lot though, but you have to use a lot of strength to hold them firm. And that's possible, because my dog is pretty strong, and I've had to kind of do that with him. And I was showing my dominance over him by doing that, you know. But that's just the way that is. Now that's how bullies are though. Bullies are like, you know, they get more heart, they get more aggressive when you show fear. I mean, you could show fear but still stand up to them, you know. And in your mind, in my mind, I can tell you, the scenario in my mind was a lot worse than what the reality was when I stood up to the bullies. I really thought it was going to be my last day on earth, but it wound up being, the bully wasn't so tough. He wasn't as tough as I really had him pictured in my head, the way he convinced me that he was. But I had to face that fear, and I started to face it more and more and more. And I realized something. It just clicked. Bullies are scared too. And that's how they try to overcome their fear, by making you more afraid. Afraid to a point that you will book and run. And that's what they beat their chest for that. Yeah. Right? Like Debo. But see, that's a message that needs to be said often. We're in the climate of bullies right now. The climate in which we live is based on bullies. And it goes from the very top, from the presidency, all the way down to our communities. Bullies. They're everywhere. So we have to know how to manage bullies, how to deal with them, manage. And once you have figured that out and realized that, you know, you're a fighter too, don't let that go to your head and you become the bully. That happens. Some people, when they realize they have a special something, then they get cocky with it, and they in turn become the very thing that they had to stand up against in time, and they became the bully too. And then there would be that somebody who would knock them off their little reign as well. I'm a witness to that. So only in my later ages, when I got very humble. I'm a humble man. I want to stay humble. I don't want to get it doesn't matter what I achieve in my life. If it's a lot of money, I want to stay humble. I want to hang on to my morals, my humanity, my concern and care for people. I want to hang on to that stuff. I don't want to let it go and become a beast, a savage. I don't want to be a savage. Only when need to be. Because there's times where you have to be a savage when you're dealing with bullies. You literally got to stand up to them, and you got to give them exactly what they're trying to give you. That's about the only way they're going to respect you. And that's where your respect come from. Your respect comes from the battle. Even if you fall. If you fall battling a bully, the bully's still going to respect you because you stood up. A lot of people don't. So, stand up to your bullies. Within good reason, of course. I'm not telling you to go out there and be foolish. I'm just saying, stand to your bullies. Stand your ground best you can. Be safe. If you got to book and run and live another day. But just know that there'll be a time where you run across that bully and it's just going to be a mano a mano. And sometimes that has to be dealt with. Sometimes. It depends on where you come from or who you are. But me, I had to make that stance numerous times. So I guess that's why I speak it the way that I do, because I had to go through it. Maybe it was a traumatizing thing. Maybe I have PTSD over that. I never really thought about it like that, really. I just deal with it. All the bad things that I've experienced in my time, I just dealt with it. I didn't go to no therapist to try to reason and make me understand better. I just dealt with it. I suppressed the feeling inside. You know? I suppressed that feeling inside, and I just cope with it best way I know how, without hurting anybody else or hurting myself. I just deal with all the crap that I've experienced with no help, no professional medical help at all. None of that. So fam, be as nice as you can. Practice the God in you. A lot of us maybe don't even believe in God, but just practice the good in you. You know what good is. You don't want to associate good to God? Okay. Practice the good in you. Hang on to your morals. Tell somebody you love them. Mean it though. Don't just say it. Really mean it when you say it. Be the better you that you can be. Coming from a man who would never look into another man's face and say any of these things. But I find myself saying them now. Humble. And I'm old. So when you get old, your perspective is different. Way different. Almost like night and day. And you can appreciate all the positive changes that you've been through. So cherish the positive changes, y'all. Cherish it. Be proud. Wear it like a badge of honor. Change, man. Ain't like I used to be. I'm not the same. I'm the same guy, but I'm better. So be proud of that, y'all. Keep your head up. Pass it on. Pass it on. Okay? On that note, fam, I said I wouldn't keep you. I ain't gonna keep you. So treat people like you want to be treated. It'll come back round because it has for me. Before you leave your home and into the war zone, make your prayers. No weapons formed against you shall prosper. Get back home safely and come see me. Peace.